Hey guys, a very good evening to all of you. This is Yogendra from Forsk. Guys, can you give me a confirmation if the audio is clear to you and a screen is visible? Okay, so Raman Ekta from Iran, Nitin Krishnan saying yes to me, Vaibhav Thakur saying yes, all clear, Rakshita, Akash Kumar from SKIT. Okay, thank you guys. So guys, thanks for the confirmation. And guys, welcome back. I hope all of you guys attended yesterday's webinar that was on career outlook for data science, domain guys, right? And if you have not attended that webinar, we shared the recording as well to you over the messaging, right? So I'm sure that you guys have already gone through that. Yeah, Mol, thank you. So as I told you guys yesterday evening during the webinar, right, that next 2 days, starting from today and then tomorrow, we are going to have a workshop, right? And this workshop would be a data science workshop where we talk about a case study, right, that we completed very recently with a client. So it was a project implementation and consultation both. And we worked with the client very closely. And it was a very interesting problem, guys, related to data science only. So I'm sure you guys going to get a very, much benefited from this 2 days workshop, guys. And I highly recommend you guys to, not to miss the session, because if you are in, then make sure that you are in, right? And so that you can see the end-to-end, the concept design, end-to-end implementation, how come end-to-end deliveries in this domain are done. So that can give you a very good idea around that, guys. So I hope people are excited about this. And we would be keeping this kind of a interactive, guys. Okay, so I request every one of you that you should not be at the receiving end only, you should also participate in this workshop, right? So how come you can participate? Maybe you can ask the questions during the discussion. Every session we have a Q&A session at end, guys, where you can although in between people keep on asking, and then I answer those, but most of the questions are answered at uh, at the Q&A session when we do at the end of the session. You can probably when we discuss the problem statement, probably you can give your idea or your solution approach as well. Okay, and there can be a lot of opportunities to learn if you get engaged into this process, guys. Okay, so I hope because you are investing your time, so I think it's a good strategy to get a maximum benefit of this session, guys. So guys, please give me a confirmation. Can we start now? If you are settled, can we start now? So Rakshita, Akash Kumar, Amol, Agdas Merchant, 12th class student, Nitin Krishnan, Raman Ekta. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. So let's get it started, guys. Okay. Guys, yesterday, right, when we were doing the webinar, that was our first interaction with you guys, we talked about the career outlook, and most of the discussion was obviously around India, that how come India has become the second largest hub for the data scientist? How come the average salary of the data science people are far better than the average salaries of the software engineers? How come there are various opportunities available for you in tech companies as well as in non-tech companies? Because every company owns a data, right? Every company owns the data, customer data, right? The data of the transactions, data of the clicks, right? Social media data, IoT, generated data, lot of things, right? So every company needs the people who can analyze that data, right? Use that data to get the insights, probably that can improve the customer experience, probably that can minimize the losses, that can minimize the risk factors, maybe it can help us in design a better go-to-market strategy. Lot of things can happen if you have a data and if you can analyze it in the right way, right? And that's why this domain is booming up, guys. That's why. So people who are working somewhere in some other domain, they wants to make a switch into this. Students who are in the university or college, right, they want to get into this. Okay, the people who are passed out and looking for the job, to get an entry into the market, they are trying to do that. So there is a demand, there is a supply, but there is a problem at the supply side, that people are not skilled enough, not equipped with the right skills, guys. That is what recruiters are sharing in every feedback, that whenever we talk to the people, whenever we talk to our partner companies, that is the major problem. So now, guys, how I have designed today's session, so let's think around that. As you already know, we are going to first talk about a problem statement. That what was the problem statement given by the client? Because that would be our starting point only, right? That will give us the way that how we need to basically approach this problem and what is the solution design for this, okay? And then how we are going to implement it, how the development team is going to deliver this. So obviously problem statement is the starting point. But guys, when we talk about the problem statement, there might be few terms, right, and terminologies that may not give you a kind of a correct scenario if you are not aware about those terms and terminologies, guys. So you need to understand first couple of things to better understand the problem statement. What are those things? Guys, do you remember yesterday I just gave you a very simple definition of artificial intelligence? Do you still remember that, guys? AI, which stands for artificial intelligence. And what I told you guys, what is the AI? Any machine, right? Any machine which behaves like human, right? Which behaves like human is AI machine. And when we say behave, means it can take the decisions as human do, but it cannot be a complete replica of the human behavior. And that's why we call this as a narrow AI, right? And guys, can you tell me this, that what are the ways to achieve AI? How come? What is the most prevalent way to enable your machine as an AI machine? If you have gone through yesterday's discussion, guys, you must be answering this question. Guys, can you answer that? A lot of people have already started giving me an answer around that. Okay, Akash, Merchant, Raman. Okay. So guys, do you remember I gave you that to enable your machine as an AI machine, right? You can make use of machine learning. So guys, machine learning is a technique. Machine learning is a method to achieve AI. And do you still remember that story, guys? Then when I told you that within machine learning domain, if you use neural networks, right, a layered architecture in computer science world to process the data, the ML has a specific name if you are using neural network. Guys, can you name that? Machine learning has a specific name if you make use of neural networks. A lot of people are answering right now. Raman, Nitin. What about others, guys? Akash. What about Snehal? Okay, Kadolkar. A lot of people. So, guys, that was DL. Yeah, Sagar, you're right. DL, right? So that was the case. That was the case, right? To achieve AI, we make use of ML or deep learning techniques. That was a kind of a just quick introduction to the world of AI, ML, and DL. But guys, I did not give you a formal definition of machine learning, right? I did not give you a formal definition of a machine learning. So before we talk about the problem statement, guys, let's finish that activity because that is very important, right? We should have a right background to understand the problem statements related to this domain. So let's first, understand more deeply what exactly the machine learning is, right? So let's get it started, guys. Here, guys, while explain the ML concept to you, what exactly the machine learning is, right? I'll make use of a little mathematics here, but that would be easy for you to understand. Don't worry about that. Guys, to introduce you the concept of the machine learning, first we start our discussion in the world of mathematics. And then later on, we will switch to the world of machine learning. Okay. Guys, if you have a mathematical background, okay, because most of you are from the engineering background or commerce background, right? So I'm assuming that you have this, knowledge. Guys, you must be familiar with this equation. Y is equal to fx, right? A high school mathematics or first year engineering mathematics is enough to understand this equation. Y is equal to fx. And now, guys, let's define these terms. Guys, do you remember in mathematics, we call this x as independent variable. We call this as independent variable, right? What you call y, guys? You call y as a dependent variable. Okay. And this f has a name called mapping function. You must have seen, this is the general equation, but you must have seen some specific examples, right? Do you still remember this equation, guys? Y is equal to mx plus c. This is the specific version of y is equal to fx. One example. Another example can be y is equal to ax square bx plus c, right, guys? There can be multiple, kind of, examples if you, talk about the specifics. Now, guys, in this equation, basically, this is the equation of a straight line. This is the equation of, basically, this is a quadratic equation, right? A polynomial of degree 2 and, that. Okay. So x is independent variable, your input variable, right? And f tells you the mapping function. In this example, guys, it is telling you that how x and y are related to each other, right? Where in this equation, guys, m is known as slope, if you remember, guys, right? And c is known as intercept. Do you remember that? Right? And guys, this is the kind of equation we have, right? If this is your x axis, this is your y. So, guys, this value is c, and this, angle is your slope. That is the case. Now, guys, whenever you were solving some mathematical problems, what was the problem statement given to you? In most of the cases, what was given to you? You were given x, the value of x, and you were giving the mapping function f. You were given these two entities, and you were asked to find out the value of y. That was the kindly most of the time you encountered these kind of questions, guys, right? That this is the value of x, this is the mapping function. Just make use of these two and find out the output, find out the value of dependent variable. Sometimes this is also known as output, guys, right? A general term. That was the normal scenario in the world of mathematics, guys. Now, guys, let's move into the world of machine learning. So now, guys, we are making a switch from maths world to ML world. What changes in the ML world? Let's see that, guys. In machine learning, guys, what you are given X and Y. Find it, guys, okay? Just focus, please. In machine learning problems, you are given X and Y. And once X and Y is given to you, you need to find out the mapping function F. That what is the mapping function? And this is very easy because in our equation, there are three entities, X, Y, and F. And if any two entities are known to us, we can find out the third one easily. That's how mathematics works, right? So guys, in machine learning world, you are given X and Y, and you need to find out the mapping function F. And once mapping function F is known to you, you have find out, okay? You have got the mapping function. You can make use of that mapping function to find out the value of Y for new value of X or future values of X. Do you agree with me or not, guys? Tell me. Can we do that? If X and Y is given to you, we can find out the mapping function. And once the mapping function is known to us, we can make use of that mapping function, right? To find out the value of Y or output for a new value of X or future values of X. This is whole concept behind machine learning. In machine learning world, guys, this combination of X and Y is known as data set. What do you call it, guys? This is known as data set. And as we were calling X as independent variable, now X is actually called as a feature. And Y is called as target, or sometimes response, or sometimes label. There can be, a couple of names interchangeably used for Y. Can you see, guys? So now independent variable is called as feature, and dependent variable is called as target, response, or label. So if you have a data set with you, you can make use of that data set to find out the mapping function. Guys, finding out the mapping function is known as training. What do you call, guys? You call it as a training. Guys, I'm introducing a new term to you. What is training, guys? Training means given the data set and using that data set to finding out the mapping function is known as training concept in machine learning world. This is known as training. Okay, or sometimes learning. Now, guys, once mapping function is with us, we got to know the mapping function, making use of that mapping function, right, to find out the value of Y, the value of target, value of response for a future value of X. This activity is known as prediction. Are you guys clear on that? Two terms for you, training and prediction. What is training? Finding out the mapping function is known as training. Using that mapping function to predict the value of Y or to find out the value of Y for a new values of X, that activity is known as prediction. Are you guys clear so far? This is your basic ML concept to begin with. You have to be very, very clear in this regard. Guys, let me know. Are you guys clear around that, what we discussed just now? So Nitin saying yes, Akash saying yes. Guys, you need to respond. As I told you, right? Guys, be involved in the discussion, please. Raman, Vaibhav, Gokul, okay. Snehal, Vanshita Rathor. I hope it is like Vanshita Rathor from JCRC, right? Heyman Varnasha. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Hema Varnasa. Hema, I'll call it as Hema, right? Mangesh. Okay, Mangesh is back. Ruchi. Okay, good guys. Now, guys, listen carefully. To make certain things much clearer, okay, I'll take a couple of more examples from the computer science world. Okay, guys, you must be knowing one subject very interesting and challenging both. There is a subject called data structures and algorithm, which is known as DSA. There must be one subject in computer science in your engineering or in your BCA or MCA or masters, right? Data structures and algorithm. What exactly the data structures are? Basically, data structures are kind of a containers which can store the data, and you can apply specific operations on those data structures to manage your data or to manipulate your data, right? Those are data structures. Guys, in the data structure, right? Abhinath is saying it's very hard. If you come into practice, right? If you fight with this subject every day for 2 hours, it would become very easy, Abhinath. Okay. So now, guys, in data structures and algorithm, there was a particular kind of a chapter or a concept known as sorting. Do you remember that, guys? Sorting. So you must have studied sorting algorithms, right? What exactly was that? Guys, in that chapter of the sorting, you were given an unordered data, right? You were given an unordered data, and your responsibility was to, give the data in a ordered format, right? So ordered data as output. So unordered data, unarranged data were given as an input, and you need to get the data in the right order. It can be ascending, it can be descending, it doesn't matter, but it has to be in the right order. Now, guys, to achieve this, there were a lot of algorithms, right? If you have unordered data, and to get that data in ordered a fashion, you can make use of bubble sort. Do you remember that? You can make use of merge sort, you can make use of quick sort, you can make use of insertion sort, you can make use of radix sort, you can make use of so many sorting algorithms were there, guys. So what is algo? Algo is a way, is a method, right? That what method you should deploy so that your unordered data becomes ordered data, right? Is that concept clear, guys? I will make use of this concept to explain a couple of more things in ML, actually. Is that clear? Please let me know. Right? So in data structures, we had a topic called sorting. In that sorting topic, guys, you are given unordered data, and you need to give the output in an ordered fashion. And for that, you can make use of any algorithm from this given list. Similarly, guys, with the same concept, to find out the mapping function, given the data set is there with you, guys, I repeat, to find out the mapping function, given there is a data set with you, there are a lot of algorithms in machine learning world. Are you guys clear now what I say? There are a lot of methods and algorithms in machine learning world that will find out the mapping function for you if you give them the data set, which is X, comma y, x as a feature, y as a target or a response or a output. So there are a lot of algorithms to achieve that. Okay. Now, guys, one more thing. If you are familiar with the object-oriented programming concept, I will not make much use of those, but just to give you some idea, guys, do you remember that in object-oriented programming concepts, we are told that if you want to model a real-world problem, right, you have to create a class. Do you remember that? So class will have some member variables and it will have some methods. And guys, if you want to make use of a class, you have to create an object of that. Do you remember that? Right? What exactly the object creation is? Basically, you are allocating a memory space for that class. Then only you can make use of that. So guys, what exactly the class is? Class was exactly a kind of your implementation of the algorithm. Algorithm was kind of a pseudocode that how we are going to achieve certain things, how we are going to solve some problem. So those, step by step kind of a approach. If you implement that algo, then you have got the class. And if you want to make use of that class, you have an object in place, and now you can play with this object. Similarly, guys, in machine learning, right? Whenever you want to make use of any algorithm, right, you will have to create an object of that. So you will have to kind of allocate a memory. Guys, that object is known as model in machine learning world. That object is known as model, and that's why you must have heard these terms like train the model, use the model to perform the prediction. That is the model. So model is exactly a kind of a algorithm only, but algo that has been written in form of a class, and we have use that class to create an object by calling its constructor, right? That object, right, is known as model, guys. That is known as model. So guys, now if I quickly recap each and everything for you regarding this ML definition. So guys, we have the data set. In that data set, we will have this X and Y features and labels. We are going to use this data set to find out the mapping function. But who will find out the mapping function for us? Algo will find out the mapping function for us. So we will make use of that algo to create an object, and that object will known as model. So guys, we are going to give this data set to this model, and giving the data set to the model is known as training. And once the training happens, once the training is complete, model has kind of seen your data. It has gone through your data set. It will do what? It will find out a mapping function for us, and once the mapping function is known to us, we can perform the prediction. Guys, that is your machine learning world. So guys, let me know, is it going good for you so far? Let me know, please. Are you clear so far? So Vaibhav, Raman, Merchant, Snehal, Nitin, Vimal. Akash, Hari Prasad. Good guys. Amol. A lot of people. Hema. Okay. Muhammad Amir. Now, guys, listen. Yesterday, we were talking about two terms. Do you remember, guys? We were talking about, data analytics, right? and let's say ML. So now I think you should have a right idea, guys. Data analytics is actually analyzing your data, particularly your past data. So whatever we do in analytics, we only analyze the data to see the past trend, what has happened in the past, right? What are the insights from the past data? But in machine learning, guys, okay, in machine learning, okay, we talk about the future, what will happen in the future. If this is the case, what will happen in the future? If this is the input, what will happen in the future? And that's why, guys, in machine learning or in deep learning, right, we talk about the predictions. But in analytics, we do not talk about the predictions. We do not talk about the future. We just talk about the past, right? Let me give one example, that will clearly give you what exactly the analytics is. Guys, let's say you are a college student, for example, okay? You are as a college student. Okay. And let's say you are in your, final year, for example. You just, started your final year, and now you are worried about your placements, for example. Okay. So you visit your training and placement office, for example. You visit your training and placement office, and you interact with the training and placement head or in charge there, and you have a couple of queries. Let's say, what kind of queries you might have, that you are interested to know what has been the average salary of the people getting placed. Okay, what is the highest package, right, so far in the years to come, right, in the years that have passed, right? Or what are the various companies that visit the campus, right? There can be so many questions. Now TPO is basically an office which manages the placement activity, so they must be having a data. Let's say they are managing their entire data in an Excel sheet, let's say. So they have an Excel sheet of last 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, okay, of the placement activities. In that Excel sheet, they are managing every information. So guys, using Excel sheet, can we find out these information, that what has been the average salary year on year of the people being placed? What has been the highest package so far in the past? What has been the lowest package? Which branch or major is doing best in terms of placements, right? Are people from the urban background getting better placements, or are people from the rural background getting better placements? Guys, can we get answers to these questions from that Excel sheet? Guys, please let me know. What do you say? Do you say yes or do you say no? What do you say? So Merchant, Nitin, okay, a lot of people saying. So data is with us, so obviously we can, because data is with us for last 10 years, 20 years, Mangesh, right? Every year they are managing the data. That's how many companies visited, which company took which how many candidates, what was their package offered, right? And from that they can easily find out that what has been the highest package, how many people got selected, how many people did not get select. So that information can be easily extracted. Guys, this is the analytics act. This is analytics. But now let's say I want to make a prediction that if Akash is a final year student, can he get a placement during the placements activities? Will he get a placement? Then this is the question which has to be answered in the future, guys, right? Will the Akash get a placement? Then it becomes a machine learning question or a deep learning question. Then it's not a data analytics problem. It is a problem of ML and DL. And yesterday I told you guys, anything that you do around data is data science. So data analytics is a part of data science. ML is also part of data science. DL is also part of the data science. Managing your data, right? Changing from one format to another format, right? Preparing your data. Sometimes, guys, what happens? Your data set is not in the right format, which is required by the model. You may have to kind of pre-process that data. So A pre-processing might have to be there as a part of the project. Sometimes this activity is also known as feature engineering. What do you call it, guys? Feature engineering. Why we are calling it as feature engineering? Because you know this X is called as feature. So we are processing it so that it becomes in the right format so that our model can understand it and can find out the mapping function and can give the prediction. So, these are certain terms there, guys, feature engineering, pre-processing of the data, right? That is the case. So guys, let me know, are you clear so far, please? Is going good, guys? Is it interesting for you so far? Please let me know. Okay, a lot of people. Now, guys, last 5 minutes in this discussion, and then we'll move to the. Not exactly, Abhinath. Not exactly. Okay, but it's good to have, but not exactly. Now, guys, I'll take another 5-10 minutes on this topic, and then we'll move to the problem statement. Guys, let's focus on this term now, prediction. Okay, let's focus on this term prediction, guys. What exactly the prediction is. So as I told you guys, making use of the mapping function, right, to find out the value of a y for a new value of x or a feature value of x. This is known as prediction. Now, guys, prediction can be of two types. Guys, listen carefully. Prediction can be of two types. If you are trying to predict a number or a continuous value, let's say you are trying to predict the salary, it is a number of a person, right? If you are trying to predict the kind of a score of a team playing a game, that what would be the score, okay, it's a number. Okay, if you want to kind of predict, let's say, what would be the exact score by a certain student in a certain exam, all of these are numbers. So if you are trying to predict a number, guys, this activity is known as regression. Right, guys? This is known as regression. If you're trying to predict a number, you're trying to predict a value, then this is known as regression. So prediction has got a specific name now, regression. But on the other side, guys, if you are trying to predict a kind of a category, right, or a class, let's say, whether a movie would be a hit or flop, then hit or flop, these are the two categories. So either movie would be a hit or either movie would be a flop. So you have to make a prediction. Whether a candidate in the election will win or lose. So again, win or lose, these are the two categories. Okay. Whether India will win or lose in a match. Okay. Or whether you will get a placement or not. Guys, that kind of activity where you are trying to predict a category or a class, this activity is known as classification. Right, guys? This activity is known as classification. And as I told you guys, that to find out the mapping function, there are lots of algorithm in machine learning world. Right? So if you want to perform regression, maybe you can make use of an algorithm called linear regression. Okay. Similarly, if you want to perform classification, then you can make use of an algorithm like, KNN or SVM, support vector machines, or naive Bayes, right? Or logistic regression, Logistic regression is a classification, guys. Don't get confused with the name. It was a linear regression or polynomial regression, guys. Decision tree and random forest. Decision tree and random forest here as well, guys. Can you see? I have mentioned at both of the cases. So decision tree and random forest are the algorithm which can be used for regression as well and which can be used for classification as well. Very interesting one. So guys, right? If you have a data set and if you want to perform a regression, you can make use of these algorithms to find out the mapping function. If you want to perform a classification, you can make use of these algorithms to find out the mapping function, and that will perform a classification for you. So guys, this is a quick wrap up of your machine learning world. I hope people who were completely beginner in this field, now probably they have a better understanding of this world, and probably now they have kind of opened up a window to this world. This world is very large, but I think now you have a better visibility in terms of understanding that. Guys, let me know. Are you clear so far? Probably you got the pointers, right? That yes, now you understand that. Okay, a lot of people, Devi Shri, Raman, Nitin. Good guys. Amol, Gokul, Hema. Okay, good. Khushi, Khandelwal. Okay. What about Amar, Ankita? Ms. Jahani, Rakshita, Hari, Jairam Prakash. A lot of people, Manjunath, Naveen, Nikita, a lot of people are there. Ramya, Renuka, Satvi. Okay. Are you guys getting there? Sashwat, Vimal, Vanshita. Are you guys clear so far? Please let me know. And then we move on to the problem statement. Okay, a lot of people saying yes to me. Okay, good guys. Now guys, let's talk about the problem statement. Yeah, Naveen, good. Let's talk about the problem statement. Guys, listen carefully. Yesterday, I told you this, that Forsk was founded in 2015 by Sylvester and me. And we have kind of two verticals there, right? One consultation and development, right? And we have one academy. So now, guys, we work with a lot of clients and business partners. Guys, there was a business partner, there was a company in the domain of gems and jewelry. Guys, listen carefully. This is very interesting to know. So guys, there is a company who works in the domain of gems and jewelry. That company has a manufacturing unit and they manufacture a lot of gems and jewelry articles or stuff. Okay, rings, earrings, pendant, nose ring, a lot of things around that. Guys, this gems and jewelry company has an e-commerce website. And this e-commerce website is functional across 18 countries. So people from the 18 countries can access this e-commerce website. What exactly they do on the e-commerce, guys? I think you must have idea now, right? So guys, using this e-commerce, actually, they have a store, a gems and jewelry online store. And on this e-commerce site, they have listed all of their gems and jewelry products, guys. They have listed their gems and jewelry products, guys. Okay, the name, right, description, the pricing, the name, description, the price, other details. And if you click on any particular item, you will get more details on the next page, right? And probably you can add it to the cart and all that. So guys, that is their e-commerce site. Now, a lot of people buy their stuff from this e-commerce site, but along with buying the stuff from this e-commerce or online store, lot of people write a review of the product, right? So lot of customers write reviews on their website, on their e-commerce store. Obviously, you must have seen this activity everywhere, on the Amazon as well, on the Flipkart as well, on Myntra as well, or any e-commerce place which is working in your country, you must have the same concept, right? People obviously write. So if people are very much happy, they will write the reviews. If people are very angry with the product, they are not very happy, they will certainly write the review, right? So if they're very happy, very satisfied, then only people write the reviews. Otherwise, so two extreme conditions, in most of the cases, that is my observation. Now, what company wants to know? Guys, now the management of this gems and jewelry wants to analyze these reviews. What kind of analysis they want to make? Guys, they want to find out that out of these total reviews, let's say they have 1 million reviews on their website. They want to find out, or they want to analyze this data, that how many reviews are positive reviews and how many reviews are negative reviews. Are you guys getting this? They want to find out this analysis. Guys, finding out a review, whether this review is a positive review, sounding positive or sounding negative, this concept in the world of data science is known as sentiment analysis. Guys, this concept is known as opinion mining sometimes. Sometimes this is known as opinion mining as well, or sometimes this is known as sentiment analysis as well. So company wanted to have an AI strategy in place, artificial intelligence or machine learning. So guys, what they wanted to develop an application using AI and ML techniques that will take review as an input, let's say one single review I'm talking about, and will predict whether this review is a positive review or whether this is a negative review. Guys, this is the baseline statement. This is the baseline problem statement. Company wanted to develop an AI or ML module or application so that if a review goes as an input to that application, there should be a prediction whether this review is sounding as positive review or whether this review is sounding as negative review. That is what they wanted to develop. And obviously, some other features were also there, that they wanted to analyze the complete 1 million reviews, right? And probably generate a kind of a visualization in form of a pie chart, that how many reviews are positive reviews and how many reviews are negative. Guys, can you tell me why this is important for them to know? Why the company is willing to invest money and time in this exercise so that they can come to know that what is the kind of a overall analysis of those reviews which are there on their website. They want to know how many of them are positive, how many of them are negative. They want to drill down to that level where they want to find out that which particular product has got more positive reviews or more negative reviews. So probably they can go to that level and fix the issues that why people are not liking that. Guys, tell me why they want to do this complete exercise. So Shashwat Chakraborty is the first one to answer, to see which are the products they could improve. Yes, that can be the one case. They want to identify that which products are not doing good. why people are not happy with the products. So probably they can look into those reviews, and based on the reviews feedback, they can improve their design, or they can probably improve their supply chain, or probably they can improve, on the cost factor. There can be a lot of things around that. Merchant saying to improve their market and profits. Yes, that can be the case. They want to improve on the profits. They want to kind of mitigate the leakages. Okay. Customer satisfaction is also one of the target, right? Most of the e-commerce companies do that, right? They want to improve the customer experience. They want to improve the customer satisfaction. Nitin saying to correct the mistakes. Yes, that can be the case. What they have done in what wrong they have done in the past. So probably they can fix those, right, by knowing this. So guys, that was their exact problem statement. Amol says for identifying bad products and improving the quality of the same. Yes, you are right. Absolutely right, Amol. Okay. So guys, that was the problem statement. That e-commerce company wanted to develop an AI and ML application. Okay. Or, they wanted to develop a module that can do this analysis, right, around the reviews, how many are positive, how many are negative. If any specific reviews coming in the pipeline, they can find out whether this is sounding negative or this is sounding a positive. So guys, please give me a confirmation. Are you clear regarding the problem statement? Please let me know. So Muhammad Amir, Gokul, Snehal, Ramin, Merchant, Vaibhav, Amol, Nitin, Akash, Devi Shri. Okay. Naveen, Hema, Ayush, Jha. Okay, good. So that was their problem statement. Okay. So now let's make use of our recent understanding about machine learning, guys. Okay. So as a basic problem, if I define what we have to do, guys, we have to create a model, right, that can do a classification for us. So obviously this algorithm or this model has to be based on a classification algorithm, right? So this algo can be, a logistic regression. This algo can be SVM. This, algo can be, decision tree. This algo can be random forest. This algo can be naive, naive ways. This algo can be KNN, right? This algo can be XGBoost. There can be so many classification algorithms, guys. Okay. So we can use any of these algorithms, right? Create an object of that, and then it is our model. That model will do a classification, right? It will predict whether the review is a negative review or a positive review. But guys, we are missing one thing here. How come this model find out the mapping function to perform the classification? For that model to perform the prediction, guys, do we need to train this model, guys? What do you say, guys? Do we need to train it? What do you say, guys? Do we need to train it? Because during the training only it will find out the mapping function, and using that mapping function it can do a classification for you on a given review, right? Now guys, to train this model, what exactly you need? To train this model, you need a data set. And what kind of data set it should be, guys? What kind of a data set it should be? A data set for this particular, problem statement should be like this, that we should have a data set where we have some review, and along with that review, right? So this review would be called as a feature for us, guys. And along with this review, guys, we should have some tagging as well, whether this review is a positive review or a negative review. So second review as negative review, third review as a positive review, fourth review as a positive review, and so on, and so on. Guys, what do you say? So we should have a large set of reviews, and those reviews should be labeled as well, whether the positive or negative. So guys, first of all, you should clearly understand that whenever you prepare a data set, most of the time it is a manual activity. People who are already into machine learning world, they must be knowing that data set is available on UCI repository, or data set is available on Kaggle, or data set is available somewhere else. But guys, remember, this data set is available in a compiled format to you. Some team, someone else has worked that activity manually for you, right? So there should be a team sitting, right, that they will read couple of reviews manually, maybe thousands, maybe lakhs, okay, and then by reading them manually, they will tag it as manually, a positive or negative or so on. So guys, what happened, we went to customer, we went to client, our client, asking for this kind of a data set. Guys, remember what I'm telling you. This was our model, which can perform the classification. We need to train it, right? For training, we need to have a data set. What should be the right format of the data set? This should be the format of the data set. This would be features, and this would be your label. The tagging, positive, negative is the label, the target, the response. So we went to client, having a meeting with them, and asked for this data set, guys. Client says that I don't have this data set. I have never set any team to manually kind of extract the reviews from the e-commerce store, saving them in certain database and giving a tag to them. I have never done this exercise. So I don't have this data as of now. Although I have millions of reviews available on my website, but I have not extracted them from the website. I have not labeled them. So data is not available for us. So guys, as of now, we are into a fix. We are into a problem during this development that we don't have the right data set to train this model. Guys, do you get this point? Do you get this problem? That during the development, that was the first encounter with the problem. Guys, let me know. Are you clear on this? So people are yes, Ashwat, it can be the case. You are right. So some sort of automation you are talking about, that can be done. Are you guys clear that as of now in this problem statement where we want to develop an AI application to make a prediction of a review available on the e-commerce store, but before your model making the prediction, you need to train it, and to train that you need to have a data set, and the client says that I don't have the data set to train your model so that you can use it. So we are right now into a fix. We don't have the data set to begin with, and that is the starting requirement. Without data set, you can't proceed further to make a delivery. Guys, let me know, is that clear with everyone? Vanshita, Vikas, Vaishnavi, Vaibhav, Raman, Merchant, Khushi, Naveen, Vikas, Akash. What do you say, guys? Snehal. Arshad, Ankita, Amar. A lot of people are there. Yeah? Okay. So now, guys, we had a meeting, okay, with internal meeting within our team. And then, guys, listen, this is very interesting, okay? We had a meeting internally and we discussed this problem that we need to have a data set. There can be two approaches only. Either we prepare this data set manually, that, now we set a team, prepare this data set manually, okay? That might take weeks or months to complete this exercise, obviously. right? There should be a team of 4 or 5 people who should be doing this, right? Maybe they can write their own script to, kind of automate certain things, but still it would be largely a manual activity. Shashwat. Okay. So that can be the one approach, but we did not have that much time, guys. So what we thought, guys, as a second approach during the discussion, guys, listen, this is very, important to know. During the discussion, we thought that can we have a data set ready-madely available for us somewhere on the internet? Are you guys getting this point? Can we have this kind of a data set for what we are looking for? Can we have a data set available, right? Then what we did, guys, we searched on the Google. We searched the, internet. Then, guys, we came to know a very interesting story that almost every year Amazon releases a reviews data set in the public domain. Are you guys getting this point? Amazon every year releases a data set of the reviews. Reviews of what? Reviews of Amazon, because Amazon is a large company, millions of people are there as their customers, so they must be writing their reviews on the Amazon. So Amazon almost every year compiles those reviews and puts them on the public domain, guys. Okay, so we saw that from where we can get these reviews. So guys, by searching the internet, we came to know a website which I'm sharing with you as well. Okay, we came to know that this site contains Amazon reviews. So guys, now a story becomes more interesting for you. So guys, this is the link, and I'm going to open this in my browser as well. Okay, so guys, this is with us. Can you see, guys? Amazon review data 2018. So guys, this is the 2018 data, but you have a data from 2014 and 13 as well. But as of now, we are on 2018. Okay, guys, lot of details are there. Description says this data set is an updated version of Amazon review data set released in 2014. Okay, now guys, if you see and go a little down, it is saying that I have a complete data of the Amazon reviews, but it has been divided into categories. Can you see, guys? Now on the page you see, because there are lots of products on the Amazon. Okay, some products are electronic gadgets, some products are fashion products, some are books, some are grocery, some are kind of toys, right? Some there can be a lot of categories. And guys, can you see, this is exactly telling us that related to fashion, how many reviews I have? Close to 8,83,636 reviews. Beauty, appliances, automotive, books, cell phones, clothing, shoes and jewelry, digital music, electronics, gift cards, groceries, home and kitchen, Kindle, luxury, magazine, movies, all those reviews are there. Now guys, I have a question for you. If we want to make use of this data set for our purpose, right? If we want to make use of this data set for our purpose, which category would be the right fit for us, guys? This is the question for you, everybody. There are lots of categories available, right? Fashion, beauty, appliances, art and crafts, automotive, books, CDs and vinyl, cell phones, clothing, shoes and jewelry. Guys, which category would be the best fitted for us so that data becomes relevant for our problem statement to solve? Guys, what do you say? So now Nitin's saying clothing, shoes and jewelry. Ruchi, we have a separate category of the jewelry. Don't you think so? That would be the most relevant, most closely not exactly, but the most close category is that only: clothing, shoes, and jewelry. Ruchi, do you get this? Raj Bose is saying electronic. Raj, do you remember what was our problem statement? Our problem statement is that we want to build an AI application for an e-commerce company, and that e-commerce company is selling gems and jewelry items. So now, can you answer that which category would be the right fit for that case? Raj. So guys, in this case, merchant jewelry would be the most appropriate one, because luxury items can be varied, luxury. So only the jewelry cannot be a luxury item. There can be a lot of stuff as a luxury. Okay, so that is the case. So guys, what we chose after the discussion, we chose this category to go with. And guys, do you know how many reviews it has? It has 3,22,92,099 total reviews, guys. More than 3 crore reviews. And if you go inside, guys, what kind of a review you will find, guys? Raman, they were all on the English side as of now. Okay, and then you have to, like that case, probably your manual activity, approach would be much better if you are looking for, let's say, Persian or Arabic kind of stuff. Raman, right? Yeah. So now, guys, see what is a sample review looks like. Can you see, guys? Now we are just finding out a sample review. So guys, can you see there are a lot of kind of information is there? Can you see? This is kind of a Python dictionary, a key value pair, if you know the Python. But even if you don't understand that's okay, guys. So guys, can you see that there was a review written by someone, and this is the review, guys. Review text. This is known as key, and after the column, what is written is known as value, key value pair. Okay, so guys, this is the review. And see the another example, guys. This is the review. So someone has written this kind of a review, guys. What rating that has given? Someone has given a rating 5. Someone has given some other rating, guys. Can you see who has written that? So reviewer name is also there, right? What time it was? Reviews written in this format in the Amazon data, guys. So guys, can you tell me exactly what information we are interested in? Don't you think, guys, that out of this whole review, this is the stuff we are looking for, guys? Do you agree with that? That what review has been written by the candidate and what has been the rating given by that person. These two things are important for us to know. Why? The review text will become a feature for us in solving the problem, and the overall rating will serve as a label for us. If the overall rating is 4 or 5, we can consider as a positive review. If the rating is 1 or 2, we can consider it as a negative review. If the overall rating is 3, we can consider it as a neutral review. Guys, do you agree with me or not? Tell me. That we can make use of this data, and this data is already tagged, guys, what we are looking for, right? The review is there, right? And the rating is also given. So rating can be considered as a label, and the review text can be considered as a feature for us. So guys, we are going to use this gems and jewelry data from the Amazon to train our model, guys. Gems and jewelry. So guys, that was the first problem solved during this, development of the project. That was the first problem. But guys, immediately we faced with a second problem. What was the second problem, guys? The second problem was because and jewelry had 3,22,92,099 reviews were there. This was a huge number to process the data. It was a kind of a large volume data, guys, and we were not able to process this data on a local machine. So guys, what we did to solve this problem, we could have taken two approaches. Either we could have gone to cloud service and make use of a Spark or a Databricks, or the second approach was to dig more deeply into Pandas library, because Pandas is a library to analyze your data, to process your data, to feature engineer your data. So we focused on the Pandas approach and read the documentation very clearly, and we came to know that how come you can process your data using a parallel computing or in a distributed fashion using Pandas itself on your local machine, guys. So you can make use of Pandas, and that Pandas can process your data chunks wise. So guys, it can take your data in chunks and process that data one chunk at a time. And that was the case, guys, we took to solve our problem. Rather than going for a cloud, we used that approach, guys. So we were not loading the entire data in one go. We were loading the data in chunk size, and I think the chunk size we kept was around 10 lakh. So at a time, we were only reading the 10 lakh reviews from this data to process them. Guys, do you get this point? So if I design the flow from you, how come it was done? So guys, this is how exactly it was done. See guys, now we have the Amazon reviews. There were so many categories to choose from. So we took, guys, clothing, shoes, and jewelry. So we took that data. So we left other data, Sagar. Okay. We only focused on those data belonging to this category, guys. And that number was 3,22,92,099. Now to process the data on your local machine, guys, we made use of Pandas. Okay. Pandas, and from the Pandas, we used a kind of a property called chunk size. And guys, we kept the chunk size to be 10 lakh. So we were able to process this data. Now, guys, after this, we were able to get our data into, features and label. So guys, what was written into the feature? Our reviews were written there. Yeah, merchant, right? So reviews were written there. And guys, the rating was there in the label. So either 1 was returned, 2 was returned, 3 was returned, 4 was returned, or 5. So if 1 or 2 is returned, we'll consider this as a negative review. If 3 is written there, we will consider as a negative review or neutral review. If 4 and 5 is written there, we will consider as a positive. So guys, this was the processing so far. Now guys, as a next activity, I told you guys that our model is using an algorithm. And because algo is based on mathematics, obviously, guys, all these algorithms or all these models need the data in numeric format. Guys, listen carefully what I'm telling you. I told you that we need a data set. If that data set is already into numbers, then it's okay. We can make use of that directly, because ultimately what the model is, it will make use of certain mathematics and find out the mapping function for us. So your data should be in a numeric format. But as of now, guys, do you agree with me that reviews are actually your text data? They are written in text. So it's not a number. So guys, we need to convert this text into a numeric format, guys. Then only we can give this data to our model, otherwise not. Guys, this kind of a problem where your input data is into a text format is known as NLP problem, natural language processing. And guys, to convert your NLP data or your text data into a numeric format, there are certain techniques, and those techniques are known as vectorization, guys. What do you call it, guys? Vectorization. So what is vectorization, guys? Converting your text data into a numeric format is a vectorization. So guys, what we are going to do tomorrow, we are going to talk about this vectorization process more closely tomorrow, not today. And we'll talk about other things, that how come we are going to, vectorize the data so that we get the data into a numeric format, how we are going to train it, and how come we created the UI of this application, and how come we finally hosted this solution on a AWS cloud. And how come, guys, we got the data from the e-commerce store? That is also a story, right? To make the prediction, we need to get this data from the e-commerce store. So how come we scrapped this data? Guys, I will talk about that, how come we perform the web scraping using Selenium or Beautiful Soup. Guys, I'll talk about that story as well in tomorrow's session. So a lot of things are still there. Then only we'll come to know the end-to-end story, guys, that how we completed this delivery to the project. Guys, let me know that how you are, like, what is your feedback so far regarding the discussion we have done, right, related to this problem statement, understanding the basics of AML, right? Guys, let me know how has been today's session for you. Shashwat, it might happen, but we did a kind of a sampling and found that, jewelry reviews are in good majority there. Shashwat. So Akash is saying it was great. Hirul Patel is saying it is amazing. Raman saying super helpful. Akash says I learned a lot. Nitin says very informative. Guys, this is the real project. Okay. And these kind of, working on these kind of projects in our academy is a very normal stuff, guys. Okay, this is the project we did for a client, but the kind of projects we design in our academy so that people can work on these kind of projects, right? They are taken from the real life only, guys. Okay, that is there. So Marchand says the session was great and I learned a lot new terms. Sagar says, Sagar is saying for overcoming NLP, what we have to do. So NLP is your text data. An algorithm does not understand the text data. So it cannot find out a mapping function just directly reading the text data, Sagar. So we will have to convert that text data into a numeric format. That process is known as vectorization. So whenever you have NLP data, you will have to do that text to numeric conversion. Sagar. So Vimal is saying today's recorded class would be available on YouTube. Vimal, even if it is not available on the YouTube, I will share the link with you and you can download that from our private cloud. Vimal. Devishri, so far good. Could you explain a little bit info about each algorithm process and its advancement from other approaches with some example? I'll try to do so, Devishri, if time allows. My focus is on the problem statement first, design the solution for it, and explain the end-to-end concepts, how come we, delivered it. If time is there, definitely I'll talk about that. So please remind me about this tomorrow. Ayush Jai saying, sir, how to associate with you for future, because I really want to work with you. I'll answer that, Ayush. Don't worry. Okay. I hope you have liked the session, right? I hope there is a real good takeaway from you guys, and it's a good utilization of the time that you have invested in. Ayush says really, Sagar says it was a great session, sir. Hema says today's session was very interesting. The way you tackle the problem by finding a new method to train your model was very interesting. Also, thank you so much for explaining every concept very clearly. Welcome, Hema. So, am I going to see every one of you tomorrow as well? Oh, this is last day for you guys. What do you say? Are you going to come tomorrow as well? So people are saying, of course, I'm coming. Renuka, Raman. Okay. Hema says, of course, we are going there. Okay. So I'll talk about the implementation part as well. See, okay, as of now, my focus on the design part. Okay. Mozam is saying, sir, about tomorrow's session, will you send the link on email we used during the Google form? The link remains the same, Mozam. Okay. Zoom link remains the same. The time remains same, 7:30 p.m. IST. Okay, Indian Standard Time, and we will remind you over the WhatsApp if you are an Indian resident, Mozam. Otherwise, please use the same link for tomorrow's session as well. Akash, I'll try to do so tomorrow. Okay. Even Akash, in our academy, a lot of people, work on such kind of projects, in our training programs that we organize, or the online programs that we do, under our academy, a lot of people do. And we do a lot of hiring from our academy as well, Akash. Our partner companies hire the people from our academy as well. Sagar, I'll as of now, the focus is obviously on the design. That's why I'm talking about problems and how come you. So first the design is important, then implementation comes. Probably I'll show you the implementation code, may not be writing it, but I can show you the code. So guys, that's it from my side today. If you have any specific question, guys, I'm still open for the questions. Guys, any question from your side related to today's discussion or any question in general? Merchant is saying, what is the meaning of Forsk? Forsk is a Danish word, merchant. It means research. It has been taken from one of the European languages, Dutch people, Danish word. Forsk means research. Raman, I think in one of the project, probably we used kind of a Kafka as a tool. I need to check with my team. I think Kafka was there. We used that as a messaging, kind of a pipeline, and use Databricks as well. That is what you are like looking for, Raman? Yeah. Okay. So Raman, in Iran, what about like tech jobs? Like, are there a lot of people in software industry there? Like, how is the kind of scenario there? If you like to share. So Raman is saying data science is really new to Iran. Okay. And it's improving really fast. Okay. Okay, okay, good. Good to know that, Raman. India has a very cordial relations with Iran. uh, so, guys, that's it. Guys, please mark the time, guys. Okay, Raman, we'll talk about yesterday, tomorrow. Don't worry, okay? I'll take that question tomorrow. So, guys, that's it. I'm signing off now. See you tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye-bye and good night.